Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of life coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program. We'll be right back to the show. But before we do, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, factormeals.com, where if you go to factormeals.com/unbroken50 and use the code unbroken50, you can get 50% off your first order. That's factormeals.com/unbroken50. If you're like me and you are a person who is busy trying to create a life, heal, work on their health, wealth, and relationships, and not to mention deal with the day-to-days of normal life, you do not have time to be going to the grocery store and trying to figure out what you're going to cook every single day of the week. In fact, one time I did the math and I realized I was spending over 15 hours a week at the grocery store and cooking. When I added Factor, I got to use that time for myself, for my family, for my friends, for my community, and for my business. And so if you're in the place where you need some more support in the kitchen, head to factormeals.com/unbroken50 and use the code unbroken50 to get 50% off. Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of life coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program. Hey, what's up, Unbroken Nation? Welcome to the Think Unbroken podcast. I'm your host, Michael Unbroken, and this podcast is about helping trauma survivors let go of the past, overcome their fear, discover their identity, become the hero of their own story, and ultimately to be unbroken. Our goal in company is to bring on guests and experts in the fields of mental, physical, and psychological health to help you overcome the past, to take back your power. And in this podcast, we are unedited and unfiltered, and we're going to give it to you real so that you can start to create massive change in your life. If you're curious about learning more outside the podcast, you can get a free copy of my book, Think Unbroken, at book.thinkunbroken.com. That's book.thinkunbroken.com, where you can get a copy of my #1 best-selling book, Think Unbroken, Understanding and Overcoming Childhood Trauma. The most important thing that you can ever do, my friends, is show up for yourself, and that's where you are today. And I appreciate you. I have massive gratitude for you. And without further ado, let's get into the show. We'll be right back to the show, but before we do, I'm going to take a moment and tell you about my new book, Unbroken Man, a man's guide to being the hero of their own story. I sat down a few months ago and realized that there are so many men in the world that need guidance, that need support, that need to learn about trauma. removing themselves from toxic masculinity, breaking down the barriers to vulnerability, getting unstuck, and ultimately learning the tools to become the hero of their own story. Unbroken Man is available for pre-order right now if you go to men.thinkunbroken.com, where you'll also get access to over $1,000 in bonuses, including the 6-week in-depth trauma healing coaching app, which you'll get instant access to. I created Unbroken Man to be accessible to everyone around the world, but it is written for men from the guise of a man, and I hope that you will find it to be a practical tool on your healing journey in the same way that thousands of men around the world have. So check out men.thinkunbroken.com to pre-order, and until next time, be unbroken. 300 episodes. What's up, Unbroken Nation? Hope that you're doing well wherever you are in the world today. Just wanted to take a moment here and say thank you to all of you for listening, for being a part of the Unbroken Nation, for being a part of this whole journey that I've been on in my own personal life, but also in the show. And, you know, technically speaking, we're actually at about 320 episodes, but I wanted to celebrate this as 300, even though this will come out at like 306 or something like that. And you know, putting out 300 episodes of a podcast, I promise you, is no easy feat. And the truth about it is, when I first started this show, I had no real anticipation that I would do this now going on over 4 years. It was more so, oh, I think this is a good idea. It might be fun. And then realizing like it's actually a tremendous amount of work. And then, as many of you know, I made the decision at the beginning of the year to do 365 episodes, which has been an incredible journey. Some of the episodes have been really good. Some have been not so good as this goes. But, you know, we kind of just continue to go forward. And I made a decision to stick towards the goal, no matter what. I said, when I am going to do this, it's done. No excuses, figured out. And luckily, maybe not even luckily, just because of the decisions that I've made and because of having an amazing team here at Think Unbroken, we have not missed a day this year. And that's very exciting to me. And that means, you know, by the time we get to the end of the year, we're going to be around 500 episodes, which is nuts. And we've had phenomenal guests. You may have noticed we're re-airing some of our past guests, and the reason why is because I don't want those to get lost in the ether. You know, there are so many incredible people who have been on this show and so many incredible people who will be on this show. I've got a couple of guests coming on that, like, I can't tell you who they are, but it's very, very, very exciting. And, you know, the biggest reason people ask me all the time, like, why did I choose to make this show? Part of it, again, was the enjoyment. And the other part was I just wanted to be able to learn. I wanted to be able to learn from people who have done things that I have not done, who understand the world in ways that I do not. And every single time that I sit down with a guest, I learn so much. And one of the things that really, truly keeps me going is when I get messages or emails or DMs from you guys from the amazing Unbroken Nation who are like, that episode was incredible, or that episode was impactful in my life. And more so when I see the reviews on iTunes. Like, I know that it's annoying to be asked to go leave a review because every show on fucking planet Earth does that. But the truth about it is, like, that's how we bump in the algorithm. That's how we get seen. That's how we get heard. That's how more people get exposed to this information. And, you know, what was one of the really interesting things I've been thinking about as the show moves forward is not only staying in the realm and the focus of CPTSD and trauma, because it dawned on me recently, you know, there is so much to life. There is our mental health, our emotional, physical, spiritual, sexual health. There is also our careers, our businesses, our finances. There's so many aspects. And I actually sat down on my I didn't sit on my whiteboard. I was sitting down, I grabbed my whiteboard and I just started jotting out like all of the different things that I would consider to be categories of life. And we're going to start expanding the show a bit. And the reason why is because at some point, I believe that everything that can be said in specific categories will be said. And I don't want that to happen. Now, we'll never move away from things around mindset and trauma and tools and being practical. But I thought to myself, what if we have more people on the show who have just a completely different array and category of experience? Not only that, but really solidifying our stance on this idea of being unbroken being more than just about mental health. Like, how do you be unbroken in your career, in dating, in relationships, in your sexuality, in your humanity, in your spirituality, in, if you want to be an entrepreneur or if you want to write a book. Like, I want to have authors on, I want to have speakers on, I want to have people on who have done these incredibly difficult feats, who have, accomplished physical milestones, mental milestones. And as we get deeper into the show and I bring more guests, now you'll notice here in the coming weeks, we'll be moving to an in-studio show for some episodes, which I'm very, very excited about. You may not know this, but I record this show from, you may actually know this, I record this show from my living room. And so one of the things about that is there's not a lot of human interaction on this show. And I've always felt there's an element that's missing in that. And so I'm very, very excited as we move deeper into the show to be able to bring that. But really that's just kind of looking at the future and to look and reflect on the past here for a moment. Getting to 300 episodes was and is not the mission, not the goal. It's just a part of the process of giving people the tools. And it's incredible to me, some of the voices and the minds and the people who have come on this show, where not only do I learn, but sometimes it changes my life because I go, fuck, I never thought about that. And it's so beautiful when that happens. And I think, and I go back and I look at all these amazing guests, people like John Lee Dumas, like Tom Bilyeu, Anna Lamke, Dr. Trish Phillips, who's incredible, Kelly Goraz, Tim Story, right? I mean, geez, we got Oprah's coach Tim Story on the show. Like, that's incredible. We'll be right back, but I wanted to take a quick moment to tell you about the Think Unbroken 6-week trauma healing coaching program. If you go to coaching.thinkunbroken.com, that's coaching.thinkunbroken.com, you can sign up for the 6-week daily Think Unbroken trauma healing coaching program. In this program, we're going to go over the 6 principles of healing trauma, adaptation, understanding the impacts of trauma, how to become the hero of your own story, what to do next, and ultimately what it means to be unbroken. For more information about this 6-week coaching program, which you can download as an app on your phone and take with you everywhere, no matter where you are in the world, it's interactive. It's built about giving you practical tools that you can use in real time. And if you're ready for what's next in your life, go to coaching.thinkunbroken.com. Again, that's coaching.thinkunbroken.com. Now let's get back to the show. And not just those guys, but the people who show up day in and day out who are not massive celebrities. We're approaching like 200 guests on this show. I think that'll happen in the next month or so. I'd have to add them up to be accurate, and I haven't, so I apologize. But it's amazing to me when I sit down with someone who has this incredible story of triumph, who has figured out how to live their life and how to be unbroken and how meaningful that can be. And not only how meaningful it can be, but, I think about people in this journey, especially in the beginning when I first started this show, who were willing to come through and let me fumble my way through interviews, right? I think about so many of them all the time, and I have so much love and admiration for them because they're like, realistically, this is what I think about in the journey of this show. Somebody had to give me a shot. You know what I mean? As a guest, like, somebody had to be willing to go, yeah, I'll spend half an hour, 45 minutes with this guy, and, hopefully it'll be good. And in the beginning, some of the people, not some, but most of the people in the beginning were my friends. And I would just be like, hey, I like the thing you're doing. Will you come on the show? And then it started to grow, and it became reaching out to, figures and icons and things of that nature. But I would not be here without the incredible people who in the beginning were just like, yeah, well, come on. And I was like, great, I don't know what I'm doing. Let's figure it out together. And them being incredibly supportive. And that's such a beautiful reminder about the truth of the journey of not just a podcast, but life. It's like, you have to be willing to ask people to support you. You have to be willing to find the right people, to ask them for help, to ask them to come into your life and to be a part of your journey and to speak into you and to guide you. And if you're willing to do that, it's really beautiful what will happen on the backside of it. And so as I go through what's next and the evolution of this show and the growth of this show and kind of thinking about these categories that I want to build out, like this show would not exist without every single person who'd been willing to give me their time, and all of my team and you guys, the Unbroken Nation, for listening and for supporting, for leaving reviews, for, telling friends about the show, for screenshotting episodes, for comment. Like, it all matters. And so I thank you for that. And as we go forward, my goal is really just to keep doing this, to keep growing this show. I have a very simple mission when it comes to the show itself. I want to have the #1 mental health podcast in the world. And so when you guys listen, when you subscribe, when you leave reviews on iTunes, or wherever you listen, like, that helps so much. Because here's what I want you to think about. If there's ever anything that you've learned from this show that you think can benefit somebody else, then there is a power that you hold in giving and delivering that to other people. And that makes you a part of this mission in a deeper, more profound way. So that said, this is an episode kind of about nothing other than talking about the past and the future. And in the present, I'm just very happy. I'm ecstatic that we've been able to put this together, that the show's growing, that we're building out a studio, that I'm being guest on more shows, and that we're really starting to see the impact of Think Unbroken take shape worldwide. It was only a couple of weeks ago that we found out that we were a top 40 show in America, a top 40 show in Canada, somehow a top 10 show in multiple countries around the world. And that's beautiful to me. And so we keep going every day. I thank you for being here on Unbroken Nation. I thank you for your support. I thank every guest who has come on and every guest who will come on. And I thank myself for going through this every day, because it's not easy. And there's days I don't want to do this. You go back a couple of months ago, I'd had surgery. I was recording and like walking around with my phone. Like, it was crazy because I couldn't sit down, and, doing it injured, sick. It's like the post office, like we always deliver. And so this is a real testament of my own word and my own bond to myself, which I really love. Because just like you guys, I'm learning, I'm growing every single day. I'm discovering the tools and what it really means to step into being unbroken. And for me on this journey, this is a part of the process of being better at doing what I say I'm going to do. And so with that said, 300 episodes, tons this year, tons to come in the future. I'm very excited. If you have questions, if there's guests that you'd like to see, if there's subject matters you want me to cover, email me. You're welcome to. I'm the only person who checks my email. My team does not. You can email me to michael@thinkunbrokenpodcast.com. I'd love to hear from you. And if you want to leave a review, just leave a review on iTunes or Spotify or wherever you listen. And let me know the truth. If you love the show or hate the show, it means the world to me. I read them all. And do me a favor. Today, share your favorite episode with a friend, with someone in your life, with a person that you think could use it, because that makes you a part of the mission. And for that, I'm eternally grateful to you. So with that said, my friends, thank you for being here on Unbroken Nation. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, tell a friend. And until next time, my friends, be unbroken. I'll see ya. Unbroken Nation, hope that you just got a tremendous amount of value from today's episode. I want to know what you think. Please do me a favor and review, rate, and share the episode with 3 friends on social media today. It would mean the world if you did, because ultimately at the end of the day, creating community and connection is how we heal generational trauma in the world. And I need your help to do that, Unbroken Nation. So if you're on iTunes or Spotify or wherever you are, please like, comment, share, review. I want to know not only what you like about the show, but how I can make the show better, how I can make this further about helping you on your healing journey. So do me a favor. And when you do, shoot me a screenshot of you making the review to my DM at Michael Unbroken on Instagram so that I can have a conversation with you, say hi, and more importantly, so I can share it with the Unbroken Nation. Thank you so much, my friend. Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of live coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program.